Are you ready to master your money-making magnetism to increase your impact and income? Welcome to the Human Design Business Podcast.
Welcome to the Human Design Podcast with me, Shari Thompson. I will share with you how to amplify your business impact and income by mastering your money-making magnetism through your personal human design. Today, I'm going to be talking about Human Design Alchemy. Right now, we're going to really dive into the three-part process that will change your life and business. And I know that's kind of a bold claim, but for anybody who has started the journey of deconditioning in human design, which I will totally explain in a minute, then you will know that it can be a very interesting experience. And the more we can bring awareness and understanding to it, the easier it becomes. And I want to make this really tangible, but also implementable so that you can master this process and use it as part of your integration, your embodiment of human design. So for those of you who are brand new to human design, let me give you a super quick recap about what human design is. It is essentially the science of your aura. It is how you were personally, uniquely designed to interact in the world in order to experience, be, do, have everything that you desire. In human design theory, your desires have already been preordained. Your soul already decided before it came to be what it was going to desire in this reality. And that's why people have different desires. For example, if you tell me that your desire is to go camping forever, I'm like, great, it's amazing, but you will never catch me doing that. So everybody has different desires, and your soul already preordained those desires and then created the perfect mix of energetics so that you can create those desires, bring them into reality, manifest them, live them, experience them. What happens is that when we come into being, when we're born, we have our human design, which is our own energetic blueprint, and it is created from the planetary alignment at the time and place of our birth and the planetary alignment at the time and place of our soul incarnation. In human design theory, that's 88 days before we're born. So we've got these two energetics working. One of them is conscious to us, the time and place that we were born. That energy is conscious to us, and that's who we were always designed to be. Then you've got the energetics of your soul incarnation, and that is more unconscious to us, and it's almost like our soul journey for this lifetime. So when we understand those things and we understand how human design comes to be, what I'd like you to really get to understand is that at the heart and soul of all of this, at the heart and soul of who you are, is pure, potent power. At the heart and soul of everything that you have been designed to be, do, have, and experience in this lifetime is pure, potent power. That is your soul, that is your energy, and that is your gift to the world. That is at the heart and soul of everything. So if you imagine in your heart center that you've got this, I call it the pearl of truth, because it's this gorgeous, iridescent, beautifully bright light, and it's got everything encapsulated in it. Your soul is inside of this pearl of truth. Everything that you were always designed to be is there. And then as we start to integrate, as we start to walk through the world and we start to experience the different aspects of the world, we start to experience the culture that we were born into, the society, the culture that we were born into. We start to experience different experiences with people, with situations, with circumstances. We start to filter this all through the lens of our own perspective. With all of that, we have these layers of what in human design is called conditioning. And what's really powerful about understanding it in this way is if you imagine that it's like, for any of you who watch Friends, this is the thing that came to my mind, so I'm going to go with it. For any of you who watch Friends, there's a scene in it where Joey puts on all of Chandler's clothes. And he's like got all of these different layers of clothes on. He's got like a suit and then a baseball outfit and all of these different outfits. And he's like this, like walking around with all these different layers on. Conditioning is a little bit like that. With each layer of conditioning, we're putting an additional layer over the top of who we were always designed to be, which is the pearl of truth, the pure, potent power at the heart and soul of who you are. when I first understood human design in this way, I realized how liberating it was, because there's so many people and there's so many ideas about healing and fixing and solving and like releasing blocks. And that is really powerful. But what tends to happen is that there's this understanding that we have to fix ourselves, that we have to add something or become something. But in this way of understanding human design, the conditioning is a layer that we can simply remove, that we can take off the clothing that was never ours. We can take off that layer of belief or understanding that was given to us, that was experienced by us, that was interpreted by us, that was never the truth anyway, because the truth is always what we come back to, the pure potent power. So when we start to work with human design, oftentimes it's so different to how we've lived. The way that we're designed to be, the way that we're designed to interact in the world, the way we're designed to make decisions, the way we're designed to work with energy is so different to how we've experienced the world up until that point. And so we have to go through a process, which in human design is called deconditioning. I don't like deconditioning so much. I definitely prefer alchemy. That's why I'm going to share with you about human design alchemy. Now, in the past, the way that you maybe have understood this is to, like I said, add something or to fix something. But what we're going to be doing is stripping off and moving the things that don't serve you, that are not aligned for you or your energy type, to come back to who you were always designed to be, who you always have access to. There is nothing to fix, add, solve, or anything. It's just about understanding how your human design gets to be really empowered and potent. And so when we look at human design, there's different layers that we're working with to understand where to start. Now, I'm not going to go into all of the different layers. I'm going to give you some examples, and then I'm going to talk you through the actual process of human design alchemy, because that's what we want to get to, right? The actual 3-part process. So when you're first connecting with your human design, the first thing you want to connect with is your human design strategy. That's your type. So whether you're a manifester, a manifesting generator, a projector, or a reflector, each one of those human design types has a different auric field. And the aura that you have is how you're designed to interact in the world. So when you start to understand your auras and you start to connect with how they work, what you will find is that there are also some layers of conditioning that are attached to those auras that don't serve you. So for example, maybe we'll go through them all actually. Like, I'm a generator, I'm responding in the moment. I know what I want to tell you, but how it comes through might be different. So let me work through. The aura is the most important piece. If you can understand this, then you can move through so many layers of deconditioning in your energy type, in your authority, in your centers. And so let me walk you through this. If you're a manifester, you are designed to initiate and to inform. You're the trailblazer, you're the revolutionary, you're here to share a message, you're here to move paradigms forwards. When you are a manifester, the power of being a manifester comes from your throat center. You're designed to talk. You're designed to share. I live with a manifester. He talks a lot. He makes noise a lot. He beatboxes, he sings, he hums. He's always moving energy through his throat because he's really connected with how that works for him. When you are a manifester and you're a child manifester, like Archie, you can sometimes be told that you are too noisy. You can sometimes be told to be quiet. You can sometimes be told that you are bossy, but you are designed to lead. When you say what is right for you to say at the right time, then people follow. You're designed to lead. You're the leaders of the world. But when you're a child, it's very confronting to traditional parenting to have that experience. So you might be told you're too bossy. That translates into layers of conditioning. That translates into, I can't share what I'm supposed to. I can't lead. I can't inform. I can't initiate. And obviously that is like the total opposite of what you're designed to do, of who you're designed to be and how you're designed to create impact in the world. So when you understand this conditioning, you can understand how it maybe shows up in your life, where you experience it, or where you hold yourself back because of it. So manifestors, that's one for you. With manifesting generators, a little bit of what I just shared with the manifester, and also the biggest conditioning for a manifesting generator is that you have to finish one thing before you start another thing. But the truth is, you are designed to be the butterfly. You're designed to be turned on and excited by this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And so when you're a child, maybe you went through processes of, not processes, phases even, of being super excited by ceramic painting, and then all of a sudden you want to be a football referee, and then maybe you want to be an athlete, and then maybe you want to be a teacher, and you've got all of these different interests, and it's totally natural to be experimenting with this and this and this and this, because it will all make sense when you look back and join the dots. But if you have been told that you have to finish one thing before you start another, or you have to complete something, or you have to focus, then what that's going to do is stifle you and restrict you. And you're not going to feel the sense of freedom that is super important for you to feel aligned. But also it's going to create this level of conditioning where you're really trying to force yourself into focus or completing one thing. I mean, how many times in the business world do you hear people saying that you've got to focus and you've got to finish one thing, or you've got to really go all in one space? But you're not designed to do that. So notice how that comes into your reality. Notice how that plays into how you create your business or how you live your life. For generators, the biggest conditioning that you're working with is people pleasing. And the reason that happens is because your aura is very kind of tangible. People can feel the energy that you're in. So if you're really lit up, everyone can feel that. It's amazing. You've got this overflow of creative, sacral energy, and everybody feels this life force energy, and everybody wins from that experience. When you're not lit up, when you're doing the thing that is out of alignment for you, what you might find is people feel that too. So when you're younger, a lot of conditioning obviously happens when we're younger. When you're younger, you might be told to do the things that don't actually light you up, like tidy your room or do your homework. And you go do the thing because, like, most of us, we're good girls, right? We're doing the thing. You go and do it. And then people around you, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your teachers, feel this energy change. So they praise you more for doing those things. They praise you more for doing the thing that you don't actually even want to do. And that translates into, if I do these things, then that is what is right. I'm doing things because I should, or I'm obligated, or I have a duty to do them. And that's what's right for me to do. That's been reflected to you. Notice how people pleasing is showing up for you. How is that showing up for you in your life, in your business? Where are you focusing on what you should do versus what really lights you up? If you are a projector, then the conditioning that happens for you most is not being seen or recognized. As a projector, you are designed to be recognized before you're invited. Most charts actually say, wait for an invitation or wait for the invitation. And it misses out the point of being recognized, because the reason this happens is that you have such depth of understanding and knowledge and wisdom about a person, about a situation, about an experience, about anything that lights you up. You can go really deep into it. You don't have a defined sacral, which is where generators and manifesting generators have defined sacrals. And that's like the literal battery pack. That's where life force energy comes from. As a projector, you don't have access to that sacral energy. So you don't want to be putting your energy here, 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 just because you can. You want to make sure that you're putting it into the place that people really recognize and appreciate it. So in order to be recognized first, you have to see yourself. But a lot of projectors don't understand this, because you're in a world that is, 70% generators and manifesting generators. So you think you've got to be busy, you think you've got to be doing all these different things. And actually what's true for you is to lean back and to be really truly recognizing yourself first, so that other people recognize you. So the conditioning comes through because you're trying to keep up with the generators and manifesting generators, and maybe even be like, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm busy, busy, busy. Whereas the true magnetism of a projector, and it's really beautiful when you really own and embody this, it's really beautiful, is to step into being the queen. It's to recognize yourself, and then other people recognize you. For projectors, the world wasn't created for projectors, but the world needs the projectors. Like, there's a lot of theory in human design that says that the projectors are the new age leaders, because you're here to really show us how to be efficient, how to follow what lights us up, how to make the most of our energy, and to do it, to use it in a way that is really fulfilling and bringing our desires and everything to life. So notice how that shows up for you. Notice how you're experiencing that conditioning. And then for reflectors, the conditioning for you as a reflector is to really attach to labels and identities. As a reflector, you are moving through all of these different energies, these different experiences, depending on who you're around, the environment that you're in, or the lunar transitions, like the lunar cycle itself. So one day you might be a manifestor, and one day you might be a generator, and one day you might be a projector. But if you are surrounding yourself by the message that the world sends out, that you have to be one person, especially in business, right? Who are you? What are you sharing? What's your elevator pitch? And for you, it's very fluid, it's very flowing. But if you are attaching yourself to, who am I? I don't know who I am. I need a label. I need a like some kind of understanding, like boxing in of who I am, then that separates you from the power, the potent power that you have access to. So notice where that is coming through for you as well. So with each of the different auric fields and the different human design types, these conditioning, oh my goodness, my brain is completely gone. The predominant conditioners, that's what I was going to say, but I was going to say it the other way around. I'm like, that does not make sense. The predominant conditioning that you're working with is always going to separate you from what is aligned and empowered for you and where your pure potent power is. So we've got to start to understand how we can strip back those layers and how we can come back to your pure potent power. So that's where the 3-part process comes in. So the first part of this process is to really recognize what it is that you're unlocking. So I've given you an example with your different auras and your auric fields and how that works for you. But when you understand what it is that you're unlocking, like, this is the key, this is the code. When you unlock it and we start to strip it off, sometimes it could take loads of layers off. Think about Joey with all the clothes on again. Like, he could be taking loads of layers off with one code, with one key. And we get to really be intentional with how we're doing this. So if your intention is to unlock something that I've just shared with you about your aura, if that really resonates with you and you're like, yes, I can see where this is showing up, I can feel how this is separating me from this pure potent power, then that's what we want to focus on. How are you going to unlock that? And in order to do that, you've got to understand how it's actually playing out in your life. Where is this showing up for you? How are you feeling this in your body? What is it that you are able to recognize and correlate with, maybe thoughts or actions that really bring that into the forefront of your life and your business? Start to explore it. The first part of this is your awareness. The first part of this is how it's actually playing out. The first part of it is logical. Okay. For those of you who've worked with me in the past with abundance alchemy, we always start with thoughts. We always start with making it logical, because the more your brain is on board, the more the energetic alchemy can really take effect. But secondly, your brain has a lot of answers. Let's use it as the beautiful detective that it is. Start to explore, where is this showing up? How is this showing up? How does it feel? What does it look like? Are there any triggers for it? And then once you've understood it, the second part of this process is to alchemize. And alchemy can be anything. This doesn't have to be like 5 days of healing. It gets to be a moment by moment experience, or it gets to be something where you're super intentional and you go into a deeper sense of alchemy with it. Now, the alchemy itself is really to recognize, firstly, that conditioning is really powerful. There's this thing in the human design world that the conditioning, especially when we start to look at undefined centers, because where we have undefined centers, we have more space to put different beliefs and thoughts and experience conditioning essentially into that space. And there's this whole idea that it's really bad, it's really wrong. Like, oh, I can't do this because I've got an open center here, and I can't be that because I've got an open center here. But the truth is, all of your conditioning is perfect. Because what the conditioning is actually doing is allowing you to experience an out of alignment way of being, so that you can alchemize it and come back to what is alignment for you. And in doing that, this is where all of your wisdom is. This is where all of the wisdom that your soul came here to experience actually comes from and exists. So the first part of any alchemy process is to recognize that this is perfect. Not this is bad, this is holding me back, this is a reason why I can't do a thing. None of that. This is perfect. And in this perfection, I was always designed to experience this so that I can bring this wisdom, so that I could be here, who I am right here, right now, to bring this wisdom into the world. How can you make peace with the conditioning? It's not a bad thing. It's a really powerful thing. So the alchemy itself, you can do any kind of alchemy. You can dance it, you can move it, you can stamp it. For me, I use a lot of Ho'oponopono. I use activations. You can use breath work. You can use anything. This is not like you have to do it this way. I use a lot of Ho'oponopono and visualization and embodiment in order to alchemize. So find the way that works for you. If you want to find my way, then drop me a message and I can share different resources with you. Find a way that allows you to really explore what the feelings of this conditioning bring up for you, what is happening in your body. Because what we're doing with alchemy, we're actually moving into your energy, we're actually moving into your body. We're actually exploring what exists in your body, what the wisdom in your body is telling you and guiding you to. We store a lot of this inside of us. This is not a logical process. And what you might find is when you start looking at one area, that it knocks over all the dominoes, and then you're looking at other areas, or there's other experiences that are brought up to the forefront of what you're alchemizing. And that's okay. That's all perfect too. Then the last part of this process, the third part of this 3-part process, there was a lot of P's in that, is to recode. Once you have explored and alchemized, then you want to recode based on who you're always designed to be. You want to really start to work with these neural pathways and the embodiment of who you were always designed to be. And in order to do that, you want to recode. This is also how you're going to build this into your actions. A lot of energetic techniques really focus on maybe thoughts, maybe the energy, maybe one or the other. And then it's like, okay, well, it's done. But if your actions still are fulfilling that prophecy or fulfilling whatever it is that you've alchemized or explored, then you are still going to be creating that energetic. You're still going to be living in that conditioning. So your actions are going to have to change in order to align with what you are creating and who you're designed to be, and the release of those layers, right? The release of those layers to come back to who you are. And the way that we work with that in human design, or the way I work with that in this process, Human Design Alchemy, is to recode. And the way that this works is, once you have alchemized, you come back to, who was I designed to be? So if we're alchemizing from the perspective of the aura, with all the examples I gave you earlier, then you come back to, who am I designed to be as a manifester, as a manifesting generator, as a projector, as a reflector? Who am I designed to be? And the more you connect with that, the more you are going to really energetically activate that. So the way you're going to do that is to pick up your phone, open your voice memos, and literally speak into your voice memo for between 1 and 3 minutes to say all of the amazing things about being your human design type. For example, I'm a generator. I'm designed to be lit up. I'm designed to sparkle. I'm designed to dance with life force energy. Really tuning into what that means. Speaking it through. 1 to 3 minutes. doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be scripted. But you get to choose the energy that it activates inside of you. And then you're going to listen to that every single day while you brush your teeth in the morning for at least 28 days. Because that is reconnecting you with who you were designed to be. And all that's happened is that through your journey in life, you got a bit disconnected from who you were designed to be. Just a little bit disconnected. That's okay. We can reconnect with you. We can reconnect with the heart and the soul, the pure potent power. So once you've done that, you can really start to tune into, how do I get to connect with my human design, with my pure potent power? How do I get to explore this journey of deconditioning? How do I get to really activate who I was always designed to be? Human Design Alchemy, for me, has been a huge game changer because it allows you to shed those layers, and that's all we're doing. So if you would like to explore a little bit more about your own human design, then make sure that you click the link around this so that you can get your human design chart. And with that human design chart, you also get access to a report that tells you a little bit more about how you're designed to work with your human design, how you're designed to work with it in your business. From that, you can start to understand where you can come back, like where is the conditioning, where are the layers that no longer serve me, that I'm designed to shed, to strip, all of the things.